How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to some more Danganronpa, another Despair Academy. Yep, the killings have started last episode. Last time, we saw the motive videos. Yuki had a pretty extreme one. It almost seemed like it was live footage of his house. Not sure if it was or not, but it might have been. That really doesn't matter. What matters is that someone took action, and Kyokamaki ended up dead the following morning, right after she cheered up the boy. My god. Why is it always that? Why is it always the good people that go first? In any case, we're here. The first class trial is upon us, and now it's our job to figure out who killed Kyoka. I forgot to close the window in specific, so the game's gonna stop for a bit. It was a Word document. And this as well, I guess. It doesn't matter, everything's ready to go. And I don't know how long the class trials in this game are, so we're just gonna go for it, and I'm probably gonna have to split this episode into two. And that also means I'm gonna have to delay today's stream, but I guess that's secondary to the fact that I need to figure out who the hell killed her. Sorry, I'm a little upset about that. Anyway, let's just start. I'm still keeping that other save file for the rare item. Alright, so Kyokamaki is dead, and I want to see what truth bullets we have. I believe I figured out some of the details of the case. The victim is Kyokamaki. The estimated time of death is around 6 AM. The body was discovered hanging in the girls' restroom of the student dormitory. The cause of death is a contusion to the occiput. There seems to have been excessive blood loss from the wound. Yeah. Okay, so she was bashed in the head. We found the murder weapon inclusively. I think it was the hammer in the storage room. Kanata told me something odd she felt during her autopsy. According to her, a hanged corpse should have a clear mark, or in worst cases, blue discolorations on the skin that was in contact with the rope. Neither was found in Kyoka's neck. We know that Kyoka died from a contusion. Then why is she hanged? So actually, before I actually start, and continue on seeing stuff, I was told in the comments of episode 3, which I haven't responded yet, I'm sorry. I haven't had the time to respond to them. I woke up like an hour ago and was preparing to record this, but anyway, from the comments of episode 3, I saw that this class trial is kind of like Danganronpa Trigger Happy Habits first class trial, which is kind of alright. I mean, I kind of expected this. If it was more like Danganronpa 2's class trial, first class trial, I would be pretty happy, but I'm not mad. It's like it's gonna hold your hand. So they told me to keep my expectations low. My expectations are kinda low, but at the same time, they're kinda high to see who the hell killed Kyoka. Anyway. The Monokuma file states that Kyoka's cause of death is a contusion on the occiput. The back of her head was indeed severely damaged, evidenced by a large sunken area of skin. Ugh. However, there weren't any visible bloodstains on the rest of Kyoka's body. It seems like the culprit wiped them off. A piece of paper that Kyoka was holding onto even in death. Part of it's ripped apart and indecipherable, but what's remaining of it could still provide some big clues. Come to the laundry room at 6 AM. The cameras, I'll be waiting, probably. Bloodstain near the body. Drops of blood were left in front of Kyoka. Although there were no notable bloodstains on the body itself, these blood drops on the floor suggest that there was a lot of bleeding from the wound. Would that mean the culprit wiped the blood off her body? This is the thing that really caught my attention. The rubber, or I'm pretty sure that's glue. A strange viscous liquid stuck on the restroom wall. It smells like stinky rubber being stuck to the wall, blah 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 blah. What would this liquid even be? Then we have the hook. I need to stop this. There seems to be something strange about it. She said if it was in from the inside, it cannot be tied like that. It's true though. There were switched nameplates. Haru's account, he kind of switched them because he was clumsy. Kakeru testified to have met Mekaru heading toward the school wing around 6 AM. The bloody hammer, the burst rubber ball, and the laundry room bloodstain. Oh, and finally Teruya's account, that's right. Alright, I think that's everything. Oh boy. Let's go! Forgot to do something really quickly. That's better. Let's go, boys. And girls, and everybody in between. We're figuring out who the hell killed her. Alright, it's been a while since I've seen that screen. I'm gonna have to voice, aren't I? Oh boy, this is gonna fucking murder me. Let us begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out the culprit, only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. One of us is the killer, the culprit who murdered Kyoka. Of course! No way, I have to be in the same place as a real murderer? I can't do that. I know it's hard, but it's a must. We need to uncover the truth behind this case. Alright. I've got my detective hat on and everything. I'm channeling my inner Shuichi, everybody. Let's go. And ultimately reveal the culprit's identity. Oh wait, hold on. What's that? Oh, right. That picture of Kyoka. Wouldn't it be awful if she got left out just because she died? Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Hey! Let me ask you something just in case. It's crucial that we know this for the trial. This is really important, so prepare to answer, dumbass. Can there be accomplices in the case? That will determine the entire course of our discussion. I'm so gonna die from doing his voice today. Really important? Why, sure, I can tell you that. Now, accomplices in murder may exist. However, no matter how many accomplices there are, only the one who committed murder graduates. I see. There would be no merit for the accomplice. Kakeru, he really looks like a different person. Sorry, guys. My throat's not the best today, so maybe it was not a good day to do this, but whatever. That'll do for the preamble. Let's get started then. First up is the case summary. Now let the debate begin. Class trial. When Monokuma first mentioned it in the gym, I thought none of us would commit murder. And a class trial would never happen. That's why I didn't think too deep about this. But it really started. The trial to find Kyoka's killer. If we fail to reveal the culprit in this trial, we'll be... Yeah, no, I can't let that happen. I have to do this not only for me, but for everyone else too. To find out what really happened, and to reach the ultimate truth. I must do this with all my might. Already! Alright. A non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? I mean, I do know how they work, but maybe they'll explain the controls in this version. So, I'll go for it. In a non-stop debate, you need to be on the lookout, blah blah blah. I knew this one. You can fire the truth. Oh! Oh, wait. It's probably arrow keys and Z to fire, right? But how do I switch? Alright. Set of truth bullets taken from the list you obtained during the investigation will be given for each discussion topic. You must select the right truth bullet to refute the contradiction. Alright. Press shift to change the selected truth bullet. Needless to say, but firing a truth bullet at the wrong place will deplete your influence gauge. Okay. It's basically the same. So, shift, arrow keys, and Z? Okay. Complete depletion of the influence gauge will result in a game over, so please do be careful. You may skip through lines by pressing the arrow in the bottom right. Wait. Is the mouse necessary for this? Oh, I'm not ready. Oh, that's trippy. that is trippy. Okay. Make your argument. Let's see what we got. Monokuma file 1. Okay, got it. Oh. This is weird. Huh? Oh, it's trying to. Okay, she was our Miss Maki. She was discovered in the girls' restroom, hanging by her neck. Right. Could have done such a terrible thing. I only have 3 hearts. Oh God. Look, you see, I still can't quite believe that a real murder happened here. Okay, Kyoka hanged herself and died by choking. How's that a murder? Okay, I see. So, I was testing the waters with this at first. There was a rope around Kyoka's neck, but that wasn't her cause of death. It was even specified by that file. That'll prove Kyoka didn't kill herself. So, hold up. I was testing the waters with this, mainly for the fact that the reticle is moving on its own, but I realized it's just trying to mimic the... Like, it's not very accurate. The reticle in the original games is not very accurate until you get certain skills. I'm guessing that's it. I was just trying to see how this would work with arrow keys, because I usually use the mouse or the controller. It's interesting, I'll give you that much. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to use the mouse to skip text if I want to. Anyway, let's go. Oh. Yeah, no, Kyokamaki was the victim for sure. Do I use the mouse here? No. Huh. Alright, I'll just wait. I know where to place this. I lost a bit of focus, I just noticed. This is a little weird. Alright, now the screen's gonna shake. Okay, I guess that worked. それは違うよ. Otherwise known as... No, that's wrong. Oh. Wait, you get points for this shit? Okay, cool. Focus 4. You get points for each truth bullet you fire? Nice. I like that. That's wrong, Teruya. Kyoka didn't choke to death. She didn't choke to death? Then how'd you explain the rope around her neck? The Monokuma file. Didn't you read it? It clearly states Kyoka's cause of death. Look, it says here, the victim is Kyokamaki. The estimated time of death is around 6 AM. The body was discovered hanging in the girls' restroom of the student dormitory. The cause of death is a contusion on the occiput. There seems to have been excessive blood loss from the wound. See, according to the file, Kyoka didn't die due to the choking. Her real cause of death is the contusion on her occiput, the back of her head. Yeah, but can we really trust that thing? I don't know if I can really trust something from that old jerk Monokuma. What? Are you questioning my credibility? Oh, kids these days, they just love to judge a file by its cover. Listen, I do not tell any lies regarding the trial. I believe in fair trial more than anyone else. Don't worry, Mr. Otari. I can back up the credibility of the information. Almost everything in the Monokuma file is true. I'll guarantee you as a physician. If Kanata says it, it's true. I'm so gonna get 180, but she's gonna do a 180 and turn out to be a killer, and I'm gonna hate myself. I know it. So, if Kyoka died from a contusion on her occiput, someone must have hit her on her head from the back, right? Okay, she didn't kill herself, and another person killed her. Then I guess this really is murder. Well, duh! Don't reckon that it's suicide just because you're too lazy to go through the trial. Our lives are at stake here. Let us not waste our energy in pointless insults. It's already stated in the Monokuma file, but to add on my personal commentary, Kyoka's injury was very severe. The strike ran through her skull and made a large depression on her head. Inferring from this, she probably died in an instant death. What a devastating incident. This should not have happened. We can put those commentaries aside and talk about what actually matters. If the injury was that severe, a hard object must have been used to strike her head. The murder weapon, you mean? Ha 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 ha! I expected someone would bring that up around this time. Now, when does all talk about the weapon used to deliver the fatal blow to Kyoka? If Kyoka didn't kill herself, a blunt object other than the rope must have been used as a weapon. Let's delve into that some more. The murder weapon that struck Kyoka's head. We need to find out what it was. I mean, we do know what it was. Ah, we spinning. Spin. That's a lot of spinning. Yeah, I can see how this equates to Trigger Happy Havoc's first trial, honestly. Alright, here we go again. Just a hit her with hard with a blunt object. We know that. So, that should be the weapon. Yeah, true, Satsuki. Yeet. What kind of object is the weapon? The strike on Kyoka's head was clearly deep enough to create a depression on her skull. True. There we go. Again, not expecting much from the debates in this one, but I'm glad I'm able to do this. Agility 75, huh? So if I move around too much, I lose agility points. I see. That's interesting. This trial system's interesting. Nice. Ayame, that can't be right. In fact, I discovered this from the dormitory's garbage dump. Is that? It's a hammer, a small one you can easily hold with one hand. Is that what the culprit used to attack Kyoka? But apparently it's blood on it, so it must be the weapon. The fact that it was found at the garbage dump indicates that the culprit attempted to get rid of it. How did you even find that at the dump? But can that tiny hammer really kill a person? Wanna try if you're curious? No thanks, I'm fine. Regardless of the size, a hammer is made of metal. With enough force at the right angle, killing a person in a single blow is not entirely impossible. To sum up, the culprit murdered Kyoka once with a hammer strike from the back, then hanged her. But isn't it strange? If the killer just wanted to murder Kyoka, then why did they hang the body? Even if it was to cover up her real cause of death, the bruise and the bloodstains are still there. You can see that it's a murder right away. You can? I thought it was suicide before Yuki told us. That's because you're a helpless idiot. Miss Maki's body didn't look typical of people who hang themselves in the first place. Too unnatural if it was meant to be framed as a suicide. Too unnatural? Yeah, it did look slightly different from a typical suicide by hanging. It looked unnatural because the rope was too loose, I think. Or, this one is tough, actually. All three of these are, well, I'm guessing this one was already stated, but it's one of these two, and if I miss one, I'm gonna be very upset with myself. I think it's because she wasn't hanging. Yeah, it was. Okay, cool. Kanata, do you mean the body looked unnatural because it wasn't hanging in the air despite the rope being tied on her? Yes, that is correct, don't you think so? Oh, I got zero ideas about all this. Idiot, you don't know how people die from hanging? They usually tie a rope in the air, stand on a chair or a similar object, and kick it off as they hang themselves. That way, there is nothing to step on, and eventually they are choked by gravity to death. Oh, I get it. If Kyoka committed suicide, her body has to hang down in the air. But Kyoka's body was down on the floor, even with the rope hung around her neck. This must be the point. It sure is weird. Why did the culprit hang Kyoka's body then? It's simple. There are two possible explanations. The culprit either had a reason to do it, or was, swear to God, stupid. I'm inclining to the second one, actually. Because... Or... Oh, actually, no, hang on. I talked about this last time. The culprit did have a reason for it. She was... Or she, or he, probably a he, was trying to frame you specifically, Mekaru, since you were out. The culprit is stupid? Would that mean Haru's the Damn! Satsuki, what the fuck? Hey, she said the culprit is stupid, not that a stupid person is the culprit. He didn't deny that he's stupid. No! My boy! Anyway, there is no way the culprit hanged her without thinking. There has to be a reason. What is that reason that this had to happen? Talk about that, we have to discuss about the culprit first. There is no need to repeat that. Revealing the identity of the culprit is the ultimate object of this trial after all. So let us discuss about the culprit like Tsurugi said! But who's the real killer? I have no idea. Me neither. How could there be a murder among us? I can't even imagine who. Don't say it, don't think it. Hey, didn't we already narrow it down to half, to be honest? What makes you say that? Duh, use your brain. Kyoka's body was found in the girls' restroom and hanged by a rope. Then shouldn't the killer be one of the girls? What? Hey, he has a point. Exactly. For example, Kizuna could be the killer. She didn't speak once. She didn't speak up once since the beginning of the trial. Or Miss Dark Circle's over there. Oh, she's talking about, I forgot her name. The exorcist girl. Huh? Yeah, Mikako. That's the one. Eh? One of them's the culprit? That's nonsense. I have no reason to commit murder. Then why are you so quiet? It's hella suspicious. Dark Circles was always like that, but not you. Shut up. I'm just trying to avoid talking with dirty killers. Miss Tamari, please don't call us killers. There is only one culprit. Monokuma said accomplices have no merit. Don't view us like that. Hell no! Kyoka's already dead. It can be anyone next time. I can't die here. Did you know that unnecessary overreaction makes you look even more suspicious? Okay. I'm starting to see the pattern here. Shut up, Higa! How dare you spit out nonsense? The killer's a girl because the body was in the girls' restroom? It's not like we have rules here. Guys can certainly enter it too. Kizuna? You sound like a different person today. Why are you calling him by last name? Well, I guess a mask slipped. It's impossible for a man to enter the women's restroom. That might have been the possibility in the real world, but this place has a rule that forbids it. Am I right, Monokuma? Bingo! A man entering a women's restroom. The women's restroom is considered a form of indecency and will be punished by a shower of bullets from the machine guns. The same goes for the opposite case. This applies to not only the restrooms, but also the locker rooms and bathhouse that will be unlocked soon. Let's bear that in mind. It's true, Monokuma warned us when we found Kyoka's body and tried to step in. Come on, it's a matter of common sense that guys can never commit a murder in the girls' restroom. It wasn't me. Why would I, of all people, commit murder? I'm not a criminal. If anyone is it's that creepy bitch. If Mitsuhiro is right, that means the culprit is either Akane, Mekaru, Kanata, Ayame, Kizuna, Satsuki, or Mikako. No, I'm not the culprit! Satsuki never ever killed anyone! Yeah, if the killer is one of the girls, who else can it be besides her? Don't you agree, Rei Mekaru? What's he even talking about? Don't pull my leg. Weren't you late when the body was discovered? Everyone was there except for you. If you're not the culprit, why did you come late? Is that all you have? I told you back then, I was late because I was investigating at the main entrance. Nobody believes you! You have no evidence! Well, surely. She was a bit suspicious. I'm not trying to jump to conclusions, but you did come late. Mekaru, can you prove what you said? If you need proof of something as simple as this, it would be better for you to die here, airhead. Trying to back out? Gotcha. We found the answer. This bitch is the killer. Hold on. I suggest that we think about this some more. Coming late to the scene is sure to draw suspicion, but would it also mean that Mekaru is the culprit? No, that's impossible. We know that Mekaru really was at the entrance hall to investigate. There was evidence pointing to her innocence. It was... Alright, I have to... Okay, select the truth... The collect truth bullet and press confirm. Okay, where is it? Korerayo. Hold on, Mekaru's innocent. She really was at the entrance to investigate at the time. Huh? How can you be so sure? Did you see it yourself? No, but Kakeru, you know it, right? Mekaru's innocence. You said it, Yuki! Listen up, fellas. Rei Mekaru is innocent. I, Kakeru Yamaguchi, am the witness. Mr. Yamaguchi, is there something you know about? I woke up around 6 AM with an urge to go to the restroom. As I was heading there, I encountered Mekaru. She said she was going to investigate the school wing and walked away. The next time I saw her was after the murder occurred. Which means Mekaru is innocent! Did you get what he's saying? Satsuki sees the logic but can't understand a thing because of all that shouting. Basically, he saw Mekaru heading toward the school in the morning, which proves Mekaru's claim. Wait, but the body discovery announcement was at 8! There's 2 hours in between the time we saw her and the murder. 2 whole hours! How does that prove her innocence? Kizuna, think about the time again. It's true that Mekaru didn't show up until after we found the body, but Kyoka's estimated time of death was 6 AM. In other words, it's impossible for Mekaru to have murdered Kyoka since she went to the school wing at 6. Sure, she could have turned back as soon as Kakeru went back into his room, but there wouldn't be enough time for her to hang Kyoka's body or throw away the hammer. This is the reason why I'm saying Mekaru's innocent. No way, already? Wrong! That's not enough to say she's innocent. A rebuttal showdown, huh? I'll be right back, guys. Sorry guys, went to see somebody off to their school day. Anyway, I've already read this, I think. Yeah, I did. Why? We even have a witness, Kakeru. No, there's a hole in your argument. I'm sorry, but I've got to make this rebuttal. That's the only way to make that Four Eyes admit her crime and end this stupid trial. I knew this was gonna happen. I didn't know that there'd be rebuttal showdowns in the game. That's very cool. I mean, I kind of could have guessed since this came after Danganronpa 2. Yeah, I want to hear how to do this one. Okay, a rebuttal showdown is a one-on-one debate with a person who disagrees with you. Your opponent will put forward their argument and continuously press on you. Okay. Yes, this is just like Danganronpa 2. Press confirm to slash the opponent's words. Just like in a non-stop debate, you can refute the text marked in yellow by pressing shift. Okay. You can switch your truth blade with the left and right arrow keys. Use the right truth blade at the right contradiction as you did in the non-stop debate. The shift key won't work at non-yellow text, and pressing confirm will slash arguments in the order they were said. Be careful though, since not all arguments will go down with a single slash. Your influence gauge will take damage if you refute the wrong argument. Your focus gauge will take damage if you fail to completely strike down a piece of white text. Okay, if you have 0 focus and okay, so focus works a little different in this game. That's fair. Actually, that's kind of ingenious. Alright, let's try this. I'm so gonna fucking lose. I'm so gonna lose. Okay, maybe not. It's because it's only one. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Nice. Oh. Okay, I see, okay. I think I needed to advance to this one. Kill her remotely? How? Kyoko was murdered by a hammer. How is it possible for her to kill Kyoko with a hammer when she was talking with Kakeru? That's more than... Okay. 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 Setting up a trap to kill and activating it from a remote place. Would that be possible? Well, even if it were possible, looking at Kyoko's body told me that that wasn't the case. The murder had to be close to her. Alright, let's go. I know that. Okay. But who said you had to murder someone right in front of that person? Okay. Okay, it's not. Is it? It was that one. Okay, cool. It was that one. Dope. I like that there's a bit of voice acting in this, like for the rebuttals. Okay, Miss 0, focus 4. I think I'm doing all right. Kizuna, it's impossible to kill Kyoko remotely. How come I told you? Well, technically it's possible, but it's not the answer for this case. It's because her body was too clean. The body was too clean? Remember how Kyoko's body looked like? I just pushed away my mic. Sorry if you guys can hear this. Kyoko's head did have a large bruise and it was all sticky with blood. But that was it. The blood under her hair didn't even flow very far. Her clothes were clean too. Isn't it strange? A bruise that's severe enough to create a dent on her head and not a single drop of blood got on her clothes? There's only one reason for this. The killer wiped off the blood at the same time Kyoko died. Yes, I agree with Yuki. I was wondering the same thing while I examined the body. But can you stop bleeding from a wound that big just by wiping it a few times? Well, my nosebleeds never stop that easily when I try to wipe them off. It doesn't take long for blood to coagulate in room temperature. A nosebleed is from an injury inside the nose, but Miss Maki's bruise was directly exposed to the air. About 5 minutes of pressure would have been enough to stop her bleeding. And Miss Maki likely died an instant death, so the actual amount of bleeding might not have been much due to lack of circulation. Huh? But if the culprit wiped it off as soon as Kyoka died... Right, if the culprit killed Kyoka remotely from a distance like Kizuna suggested, Kyoka's body would be covered with blood by the time they go to wipe it off. Also, they'd have to risk the blood getting on her clothes when there's no way to wash it off. What do you think, Kizuna? Anything left for you to say? Why? Why are you siding with Four Eyes? I wasn't really siding with Mikaru. Why would Useless stand up for me in the first place? I don't care what you think of me, but don't use it to justify framing someone else in a trial. If we choose the wrong person based off of your petty emotions, everyone here is going to die. Do you still not understand the rule of this place? Fine, do whatever you want. Yes, then is Mikaru fully proven innocent? Is everyone clear on that? Why are we suddenly talking about Mikaru though? If I remember correctly, she faced our suspicion after Mitsuhiro said the killer was among the girls. Mikaru, we apologize for suspecting you. Shrug it off. No matter how much you contempt and disdain me, I don't give a damn. Wow, language. Mikaru, she has the guts! True. And we can safely assume that Mikaru and Kakeru have an alibi. Oh well, we already crossed out Kakeru. Didn't you say the killer is a girl? Hold on, even if Four Eyes is innocent, I'm not gonna take that. The killer cannot be a girl. There's no other possibility. The killer had to be able to enter the girls' restroom. Who else other than the girls can enter the girls' restroom? And why are you being so fussy if you're not the culprit? You feeling guilty or something? I told you I'm not the killer! I mean, it's just not fair. You can't assume me as the killer just because I'm a girl. And you don't even have solid reasoning. Oh, come on. If the rule that boys cannot enter the girls' restroom is not an acceptable reason, then what is? The culprit is a girl. But is it really like that? This isn't good. We can't reach an agreement if we keep fighting. Ultimate Leader, we're waiting for you to come up with a plan. There's no need. In fact, I'd highly encourage this sort of debate. Huh? I see the current situation as a perfect chance for all of us to understand the culprit's strategy. What do you mean? Everyone's just fighting each other right now. Think about why you were led to believe that the culprit is a woman. If you can figure that out, you'll be able to reach the answer from there on. I like what Kinjo's doing. He's like, I'm probably not gonna be here forever, I'm probably gonna get killed, so might as well try to teach these guys how to have a proper debate and figure out what happened. I like that mentality. Why did we come to think that the culprit is a girl? The body was in the girl's restroom for sure. Then is the culprit a girl, just like Mitch said? I think we're still missing something critical. I'll have to point that out. Non-stop debate time? Let's go. Yo, heat up moment. Let's move. Let's move. What do we have now? 2! Oh my god, we evolved! The torn note in the laundry room bloodstain. Okay. Culprit is definitely one of the girls. That's cool. I said I'm not gonna take it! Right. The body was indeed discovered. Well, yeah, that's true. We didn't kill anyone. Okay. Well, the body was found in the women's restroom. I think it's this. Okay, yeah, okay, it's this. Okay. The murder still happened in the girls' restroom. I can't read sideways. I'm so bad at this. The culprit was inside the restroom and hanged her. Oh fuck. Okay, it's this. Okay, this is a contradiction spot. Okay, got it. All right, I think I got it. Looking at the sequence of events, it looks obvious that boys cannot be the culprit because of the rule preventing their entry to the girls' restroom. But I know there's a flaw to that logic thanks to that evidence I found. If the murder took place in the restroom, I wouldn't have found it in that place. I know exactly what you're talking about, brother. How do I advance the text, brother? I hate this. Alright, now I'll wait. Let's go. It's not that? Doesn't sound right. Let's focus and try again. Wait, did I just shoot the torn notes? Oh, I fucked that up. Yeah, I shot the torn note. I didn't even notice. That was my B. Sorry, guys. So hard to skip. It would have been so much better if this was a mouse click. Okay, now we go. There we go. Oh, jeez. It's so difficult to skip text in this. Why is it so hard? Missed 20%, that's fine. Keep getting 90 points, okay. I like that the health doesn't carry over, so I don't know if we're gonna have 2 or 3 health points actually, because focus doesn't carry over. I don't know if influence also does. No, Haru, that's not true. Not true? What's not true? We've been missing something critical. I'll cut to the chase. The culprit can certainly be a guy too. Huh? What are you talking about? The guys couldn't go into the girl's restroom. How do you commit a murder in a place you can't even enter? That doesn't matter. All this time, we thought the murder occurred in the girl's restroom since that's where the body was found. But where the murder actually happened was a totally different location. Huh? What you mean? The body was at the girl's restroom. Oh, I get it. Looks like everyone finally got it. That reminds me, the Monokuma file only stated where the body was discovered, not the place where the actual murder occurred. A critical point indeed. We weren't paying attention to the real deal while being distracted by superficial things. You should have seen it at your first glance. Wait, hold on. If Kyoko wasn't murdered in the girl's restroom, if the culprit killed her in another place, then moved the body to the restroom, those could all be done by someone who's not a girl. Come to think of it, Kyoko's body was quite close to the restroom entrance. Then was Kyoko murdered somewhere else? How did you reach that conclusion, Yuki? I bet you had some kind of supporting evidence. Yeah, in fact, I found a puddle of blood in the laundry room. In the laundry room? That place sounds so irrelevant. The bloodstain says everything. Kyoko Maki was murdered in the laundry room. The laundry room. I've seen Miss Maki there a few times, but her time of death. Why did she go to the laundry room at 6 AM in the morning? Yeah, I know she was an early bird, but I don't think she would get up that early. The reason Kyoko headed to the laundry room. Didn't I find something that can answer that question? Yeah, the torn note. Oh, and health does carry over. Okay, so I can't fuck up anymore. What was it? I think it's coming to my mind. The clue was... There we go. Everyone, can you look at this for a second? What's that? I found this from Kyoko's body. It looks like a scrap of paper from the notepad Monokuma gave us. A scrap piece of paper, sorry. Kyoko was holding it tight in her hand. Would you like me to read what it says? To the laundry room at 6, any camp be waiting. It's all raggy and torn. Take a closer look. Clearly mentions that place in the parts that we can read. I see, the laundry room. Moreover, the words that really matter are still intact despite the missing parts. From the parts that are left, I think the full message was, so come to the laundry room at 6, there aren't any cameras there, I'll be waiting. Something like that. That was so sick! Tsurugi, you completed the note from just its parts! It's my speculation, so I can't assure that it's completely identical to the original sentence. But it should be the same overall. Is it ripped because the culprit tried to pull it out by force? I believe so. Maybe the culprit wasn't able to remove the whole paper from Miss Maki's hand due to rigor mortis. That means Kyoko got that note from someone and went to the laundry room at the designated time without knowing what's about to happen. Shoot, why would anyone use those kinds of cheap tricks? Huh? Satsuki's confused about on the part that says there aren't any cameras. Perhaps it was intended to make the note look like some sort of secret talk? No, that's not what Satsuki meant. Are there really no cameras in the laundry room? There is. Oh, what a surprise, you can talk? between the ventilator and the clothesline. Yes, I saw it too. The culprit just wrote down meaningless nonsense as bait. Yoka, just why? I apologize for the untimely interruption, but may I speak for a moment? Hinji, what is it? Kyoko was murdered in the laundry room, although we can now be certain about this statement. Is it not too early to conclude that a man could be the culprit as well? Huh? While it is possible for a man to commit murder in the laundry room and carry the body to the restroom, recall the fact that Kyoko was not merely lying on the restroom floor. She was hanged by a rope attached to the ceiling. Have we forgotten this already? Oh, you're right. The murder could be done somewhere else, but you'll have to enter the restroom to connect a rope to the ceiling. So the culprit really is a girl then? What? Are we back to where we started? Seriously? Guys, you want to think the culprit is a girl that bad? No, but Hinji's not wrong. It's impossible to tie a rope through a pipe inside the restroom unless you are inside as well. See, the killer is one of the girls! Wait, it's too early to make that conclusion. Can there be a way to hang the body from the outside? If Kinji is right, the killer cannot be a guy. But if there's a way to refute that logic, you have to come up with that, even if the chances are less than 1%. Mikako, thank you for your statement. This isn't a drill. A single mistake can kill all of us. If we put our heads together, we'll be able to find the answer. Back to this. Sure, this trial's not going to be that long, is it? Hanata's account. Oh, it's okay. So this is going to be interesting. Oh no, it's the hook. All right, because Mikako doesn't have an account. A way to hang the body from the outside. Is that really possible? Good question. What if the culprit used a tool for it? That's the hook, I think. Maybe the culprit had a tall height? The climb up the wall. Satsuki, I love you, but god damn it. It's a kind of stunt. Satsuki can do it too. No, it's the tool. Hey, we're being serious here. It's the hook. It's super obvious, this one. Okay, let's think closely. There's still a possibility that the guy is the culprit. If the body could be hung without entering the restroom, that would prove the culprit could be a guy too. Don't struggle on your own. There's definitely something. Come to think of it, there was another object attached to the rope. It's called a hook! This one is super easy. I'll have to get used to the fact that the truth bullet resets. Oh, there we go. Whew. Oh, dude, it's hard to hit. It's hard to hit this. It's harder than it looks. Agility 50%. Thank you. Very cool. 75. That's it, Ayama. You can use a tool. A tool? But how? I almost forgot the tool that was tied to the rope. It's right here. Do you see it? Looks like a hook to me. A hook? The rope had something like that? I'm starting to get impressed by the extent of your guys' stupidity. But Useless made a good point this time. You're right. Looks like you got it correct. That would be exactly my face. I relate to Yuki, dude. So what about the hook? The culprit must have thrown this hook with the rope attached to connect it to the pipe on the ceiling. That way the rope is all set. Afterwards, they can tie the other end to Kyoko's neck and push her body inside. Wouldn't that be possible to do without actually entering the women's restroom? Yes, it is! This is our answer! This came out before V3. This came out before fucking V3. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Hold on. Look how the rope is tied to the pipe. It's been twined several times around the pipe. Is it possible to do it with that heavy looking hook on the rope? Wee, he's right. It's fastened by the hook, but the rope went around several times. No, it's nearly impossible to tie a rope like that when there's a hook attached. What the? You said it like it's possible. That's why the culprit used another tool to secure the rope onto the pipe. Is it the rubber ball? Another tool? What is that, another tool? It seems like Mikaru's the only one who realized what it is. Well, can you tell us, Mikaru? Like hell I realized. I knew it from the very beginning. And if you're trying to sound me out, quit it. I already said I have no plans to offer any help. Besides, it looks like Yuki's over there got a hold of it anyway. Why don't you ask him? What, me? Yuki, can you tell us the answer? Oh, tell them, Yuki! Fuck, we're back at this! God damn it, Byakuya 2.0. Well, it's... Oh, you didn't? Sorry about that. I guess that question was too hard for your non-functional brain. I won't forgive myself if I don't give an answer after hearing that. In fact, I'm sure that I can. I found that object during the investigation, right? A tool other than the hook that was used to secure the rope from the outside. That tool was... That's a good question. What is that tool? Is it this? It has to be the rubber ball. Or I don't know, it's either one of these two. I'll go for it. Yeah, it's this. Okay, cool. Good. And one more thing. There was a key piece of evidence that can prove this tool's... Oh, okay. So it's both of them. It's both of them. I got it. I figured out the other tool used by the culprit. It's the rubber ball. Rubber ball? What's a rubber ball? It's like a bouncy ball. Have you ever played with them when you were young? It's full of some kind of viscous liquid that makes it bounce back up when it hits the floor. Oh, I know! I made some improvements to it and sold it overseas under the name Hyperball. Did I tell y'all that it's still selling great? How's it relevance to the case? You better tell us quick, Yuki! Okay, I figured out the way the rubber ball was used in the murder just now. After Tsurugi said the culprit used another tool to set the rope in place, I tried to relate the act of winding the rope with the circumstances of the murder. I think we can be certain about the culprit using a hook since we found one in the pipe, but as Mitch pointed out, it's impossible to wind the rope like that with the hook alone. Putting the hook after setting up the rope wasn't a choice either, because there's no way to get the rope around the pipe by itself. Besides, they'd have to step inside to attach the hook. That's why the culprit used the rubber ball. Before using the hook, the culprit tied the rope around the rubber ball. Then they threw it inside the restroom, between the pipe and the ceiling to be more exact. That way, the rubber ball would hit the wall and bounce back toward where it started. If you repeat this multiple times, you get the rope around the pipe with the ball returning to the entrance every time. All that's left is to remove the ball and tie a hook to throw it onto the pipe. But the culprit probably faced something that wasn't part of their plan here. The rubber ball burst because of that pressure from rebounding off the wall. It spilled its contents all over the wall and the floor, which is still left at the scene. This is how the culprit tied the rope without going inside the girl's restroom. The hook and the rubber ball were used to make it look like it was done from the inside. Oh, so that must have been the stinky liquid on the wall. Well said, Yuki. I agree with you. Well, if our ultimate police officer says so, I guess he's right. Everyone, did you notice something after getting to this point? Notice what? It's a guy. It's a guy. Think closely. We were talking about the possibility of a man being the culprit. But don't you think it should be the opposite after going through all this? Opposite? My explanation involving the hook and the ball, it was to prove that it's possible for a guy to be the culprit. But if the opposite of that is true, that means... Yep! That's right, we were going in the opposite direction ever since! Opposite direction? What are you talking about? We thought that the culprit was a girl, so we thought of a way to hang Kyoka from outside the restaurant based on the assumption, what if the guy could be the culprit as well? Turns out that wasn't the case. It's very unlikely that the culprit is among the girls. The killer is definitely a man. What? It wasn't me! Hey, how so? Why is it suddenly like that? It's totally this guy. It's 100% this guy, isn't it? Think about what we just went through. The culprit undoubtedly used the hook and the rubber ball to connect the rope to the ceiling. Now, suppose the culprit was a woman. Would there be a reason for her to use such complicated measures when she could have simply stepped inside and tied the rope directly? That makes sense. It looks like the culprit had to do it without going inside the restroom. Furthermore, even if the culprit was a woman and had to use the hook or rubber ball for some reason, they would have been able to clean the stain on the wall afterwards. Right, as I mentioned before, the culprit probably didn't expect the rubber ball to burst. to clean the liquid off the wall, they needed to get inside the restroom. But they couldn't! Because guys can't enter the girls' restroom! I can't say with absolute certainty, but it's the most reasonable explanation we can think of. There would be no reason for the culprit to intentionally leave traces in the murder scene. I mean, the liquid stain on the wall was a big hint for figuring out how the ball was used for the culprit, by the culprit. That automatically gives this girl an alibi, right? Plus, even better, Yuki, Teruya, Haruhiko, Mitsuhiro, Tsurugi, Kinji, and Kakeru. We know one of them's gotta be it. Hold on, what if the culprit was a woman who tried to make us think in this way all along? I highly doubt it. The reason the culprit hanged Kyoka in the first place was to make us think that a woman did it. Yes! See? I knew it! It's so obvious! This was the biggest bait I have seen ever since 11037, goddammit. Such a big bait. Like, what the fuck? And it was all to point towards Mekaru. Because it was such an easy target, dude. Oh, so it had nothing to do with disguising it as a suicide from the start. Indeed, everything was to lead us to thinking that a woman is the culprit. In other words, the culprit wanted us to think that way. So they wouldn't become a suspect! All because the culprit himself was a man. Everything's connected now. I found it strange to find the rope on Miss Maki's neck being too loose. In retrospect, I see that was the case because the culprit didn't intend to make it look like a suicide at all. I can't believe it took this long for you to reach that point. What's up with you talking like you already knew all of this stuff? Because I already knew? What? I already have everything worked out. Who the culprit is, why they killed, anything you could possibly think of. Eh? What? And you just stood there in silence when you had all the answers? How many times will I have to repeat this? I have absolutely no reason to help you out. Mekaru, this isn't a competition. If you don't share what you know and we end up voting for the wrong person, you're going to die too. Of course I'll share my knowledge when it gets to that. But even without me, you still have Tsurugi Kinji over there to help you. And useless, you're getting pretty close to the truth too. I was actually surprised. Perhaps you aren't completely useless after all, monkey. Wow, okay. Monkey. Jeez, she's real smug. Well, she's always been like that. We should ignore what she says and keep moving on. Sure, I believe we left off from saying the culprit is a man. I wonder who it is. Wow, she must be really excited by the tables turning. Although we now know that the killer is among the men, we still need to specify one person out of the 7. Is there any kind of clue to narrow down the list? Well, if Miss Mekaru was able to work out the culprit's identity, there must be a clue pointing to the killer somewhere. The problem is we don't know what that clue is. Tsurugi, a little help here? Like something that can nail the killer? I do have something in mind, but you shouldn't rely on me for everything. All of you should figure the case out by yourself and understand the reason behind our final verdict. Yay, see? See? Based! Unbelievably based. I love a character with this mindset, dude. Look, you guys can't rely on me forever, for the simple fact that I might be next. Okay. Everybody's just silent. Hey, y'all? Any ideas about the culprit? Well, nothing in particular, I suppose. We're almost there. We know that the culprit is one of the guys. Just to remind y'all, it's not me. Their reaction is making you look even more suspicious. I trust that it's not Terry, honestly. Just like you from a while ago. What did you say? Yeah, I'm sorry. Wasn't that out of character, Kizuna? Since most of you seem to be having trouble with this, let me suggest going around. How about we all think of something else first? Such as... Don't you want to know why Kyoka died? Why Kyoka had to die? Of course we do! Kyoka was always full of spirit and a nice friend to us. She didn't deserve to die. To begin with, 2 people were indirectly involved in Kyoka's death. Oh, fuck! 2 people? Are you implying that there are 2 culprits? No, I'm not saying those 2 took part in the murder, but they heavily influenced the events leading up to Kyoka's death. The point is, Kyoka died as a result of someone's mistake and the culprit's misjudgment that stemmed from it. Mistake and misjudgment? I need the help of her sitting someone to explain this. Yuki, could you help me out? So Kinjo is gonna be this game's Kyoko? Seems like that. But I like his mindset a lot. He's not just spoon-feeding them the truth. He actually wants them to figure this shit out for themselves, and I love that. You remember the conversation we had in the hallway? The one over the nameplates. Oh, you mean that one? Yeah, you told me that you know who caused that change to the nameplates. I don't have knowledge regarding this matter, so I'd like for you to provide us the context. Hello? I got zero ideas on what the two of you are talking about. Oh, okay, I'll explain it to everyone. Yesterday, while all of us were in shock after Monokuma showed us the motive, there was a minor incident that happened. The people who know about that incident are me, Haru, and Satsuki. And finally, Kyoka. Huh? They don't look like they know it, though. Haru, Satsuki, did you forget what happened before nighttime yesterday? With the nameplates? Oh, that? Oh, you mean the thing with Haru's triple spin? Yeah, would you mind explaining to us what happened back then? I think there's something you didn't know about it. I'll tell you when we get there. Okay. A non-stop debate over this shit, really? Alright. Ah, that's still so trippy. Kanata, Haru's, and Teruya's. Okay, it's probably Haru's. If we're talking about the nameplates. Satsuki, me, okay, we're hanging out together to distract ourselves from the motive. I accidentally fell down and broke the nameplates, that's true. It was really funny to watch, triple spin! I love Satsuki so much. I was freaking out over damaging school property. Monokuma showed up and said that won't punish me since it was an accident, let me with a new set of nameplates. Okay. He told Haru to put the new nameplates back where they belong. Okay, that's true. Oh, okay, cool. This was literally one of the easiest ones so far. I knew it was gonna be Haru's account based on what we were discussing. Agility 75, yep. Again with 90, dude, let me have more! I hate agility points. I don't know why I'm going for points. God, my standards are so low. Sorry guys. Also, I'm trying to adjust myself, but it's not easy. Alright, let's go. No, Satsuki, there's something wrong with what you just said. Yo, what's wrong? Although Haru did put the nameplates back, he didn't know that he made a mistake while doing so. Yuki, that's... He forgot where the two nameplates originally were, so he put the new ones in the wrong place. What? He forgot about... Oh, fuck! I just realized something! Kyoko wasn't the intended victim! Oh. Kyoko was a... Oh, Kyoko... Oh, no. Kyoko was not the intended victim. Alright! I see now! And once Kyoko showed up in the laundry room instead of the actual person they were trying to kill, the killer probably panicked and had to think of something on the spot. That is... Holy shit! Okay, alright. That is... I just realized he... Oh, that's why he has the mindset that I'm praising. That is awesome. Alright, yeah, that's pretty dope. Oh, he went to the restroom before putting them back, so I think he got confused somewhere in the middle. Okay, I get how much of an idiot Haruhiko is. How is that related to Kyoko's murder? That would be because the two nameplates Haruhiko had to replace belong to Tsurugi Kinjo and Kyoko Maki. Right, Yuki? Yeah, right. Kyoko's room was next to mine and Tsurugi was next to hers. But because Haru thought the other way around, the nameplates on their doors were switched. Mr. Kawashikawa, what was your intent to do so? Was it your intent to do so? Anyway, Haru, shouldn't you already know? We talked about the nameplates being switched when we were investigating. Well, I did, but I just wanted to avoid unnecessary suspicion. Avoid suspicion? Don't tell me you're the culprit, Haruhiko! No, I'm not, I swear, this is exactly why I didn't say it. Why would we think you're suspicious? Just a couple of nameplates. I don't think they're that much related to Kyoka's death anyway. Yes, they are related. Much related, in fact. Now would you care to explain what that means to us? I said earlier that 2 people were connected to the murder. One of them is Haruhiko for switching the nameplates, and the other person is... me. Huh? Yeah! Mr. Kinjo, you have an indirect connection with the murder of Miss Maki? May I ask you to elaborate on that? It's true. Let's see, where should I start? How about we all get into a grasp of the culprit's intention first? If things went as the culprit originally planned, the person to have a portrait here would have been me. Yes! Yes! I figured it out! They wanted Kinjo out of the picture! That statement sounds somewhat far-fetched. How come you were to die instead of Kyoka? Yeah! Because Kinjo is by far the biggest threat to any potential killer, being the police officer. Oh my god, I big-brained. I mean, it took me a while, but I big-brained. I miss this feeling of big-braining, honestly. Do you remember the torn note that Yuki read to us a while ago? I was able to comprehend what the culprit was aiming for after seeing that note. Kyoka got that note from the culprit and headed to the laundry room at the designated time. There, she was assaulted and murdered by the culprit. Everyone's clear on this, right? Then let me ask, how do you think Kyoka got the note? How she got the note? Well, maybe one of us casually handed it over to her. Kyoka wouldn't have known that the person who gave the note would come after her back then. From whom? Where? How? Did any of you ever see Kyoka getting a note from someone? No, besides, there wasn't any time for that. After we got out of the audiovisuals room, Kyoka stayed with me and Satsuki until she went into her room for the night. Wait! Then Kyoka got the note between 10 PM last night and her time of death, which is 6 AM this morning? Right, Kyoka went inside her room and as soon as it became nighttime, she couldn't have gotten the note while talking face to face with someone. And that leaves us with only one possibility. She got the note while she was inside her room. But you can't go into someone else's room unless you got the key or the owner's permission. Yes, but there is a way to give her the note without opening the door. What? But that'd be like magic, really. How? You slide the note under the door, you idiots. A way to slip a note inside the room without opening the door or being seen by the owner. That should be pretty simple. Something any clever kid could think of. If I stay calm and keep brainstorming, it'll come to my mind. Hangman's Gambit! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Okay, please be better than Danganronpa 2's. Okay. In Hangman's Gambit, you must put together a piece of evidence that flashes by your mind. The bottom of the screen will show parts of your target word of phrase with spaces in between. Or phrase, okay. Find which letters could go, yeah, I know. We'll move around randomly across the screen. If there are multiple blank spaces, you must fill in the leftmost space first. We'll take damage if you fill in the wrong letter, if you focus, okay. So I guess it's just arrow keys and choose the letter. Okay, cool. Let's go! Hangman's Gambit. This is the original Hangman's Gambit music as well. And background. This looks good. What? This is weird. Oh, gap. That, okay, at first I was like, what the hell? That's interesting. This is... I'm guessing this Hangman's Gambit is gonna get harder later on. That's 100. You'll love to see it. That's it, the gap. Even when the door is fully closed, there's a gap between the bottom of the door and the threshold. That's large enough to slip a note through. So after nighttime, the culprit left the note inside Miss Maki's room through the gap? Right, there would be no one out in the hallway after nighttime and Kyoko would still be awake. Adding a message like, don't exit your room to keep Monokuma from noticing would have easily dealt with the chance of Kyoko seeing the note coming in and opening the door. That way, the sender won't have to reveal himself while still getting the message across. This inequality of information between the culprit and Kyoko made her more vulnerable to deception. You know, it was pretty bold of him to do that. What if Kyoko didn't show up or brought other people with her? He'll probably requested her to come alone to prevent such occurrences, likely coupled with a reason she won't be able to ignore. From the fact that it mentioned the absence of cameras, it must have been something Monokuma shouldn't know about. A way out, for instance. Would any of you refuse to go if someone offers to tell you a way to escape? Well, I'd go, yes. True, I would have gone as well. Hey, the culprit sneaked the note into our room. I get that, but how exactly is it you and Haru's fault? Think closely. Most people here didn't know about Haruhiko switching the nameplates until it was said in the trial or noticed it after the murder occurred. Which means at the time of the murder, the culprit was unaware of the fact either. I see. For that reason, you consider yourself and Haruhiko to be at fault. For those of you who haven't gotten it yet, we're saying that the culprit killed Kyoka because of a confusion. Confusion? What? So it ties back to what Tsurugi said earlier. Right, I think I know it now. The indirect influence Haru had over Kyoka's death. Haru switched the nameplates by mistake, and the culprit slipped the note inside the room without knowing they were switched. Then the culprit's intended target was Tsurugi Kinjo.